I think we have just seen NXT TV match of the year, and it was for some consequence. We now have a number one contender for Finn Bálor's NXT Championship. We're going to talk about it in just a sec. Stay tuned. This is your NXT review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about NXT. It was a pretty good wrestling show, again, as it has been in recent weeks. You know, not so much on the entertainment side of things, but wrestling heavy with just some absolute great matches, some that will surprise you as well, some that just didn't quite live up to the billing as well. So we're going to get into that in just a second. But yeah, stay tuned if you want to see this NXT review. And right here at WrestleManiacUK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. And whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button as well. It does a lot for the channel and we thoroughly appreciate it. Right, let's get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into this NXT review. And the show started up with a tag match, Leon Ruff and Kushida versus The Way, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. So Leon Ruff was obviously supposed to originally tag up with Damian Priest before he was taken out last week by the returning Karrion Kross. This match was pretty decent. It's not going to be like a tag match that you go back and seek out years down the line or anything like that. But it was a pretty good match. Booked pretty smart. Austin Theory looked pretty good in it. You know, this was like his coming back match because, you know, he quit NXT some time ago. So this was him coming back to NXT and really showing that he's aligned with Johnny Gargano and everything they're doing over there in the Gargano family. Leon Ruff still giving us that good, unique offense. And Kushida, who kind of built himself up over the past couple of months, has been a bit quiet since I think the last takeover. I think he had a match, if I'm correct, with Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa. Been a bit quiet since then, but he resurfaced in this match to help Leon Ruff. At the end of the day, those guys didn't get the win. Austin Theory came away pinning Leon Ruff. This is what Austin Theory's first win on NXT since he returned after he was kicked back down from the main roster. You know, he came out, he was very prominent, coming out, challenging people, losing, then eventually he quit. Now he's back. This is his first win since that entire time. So kudos to Austin Theory for sticking at it. But yeah, decent match to get the show started off with. And, you know, they're putting over this Johnny Gargano, The Way, his whole family business with him and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And this wasn't the last that we would see of these guys on the night. So stay tuned for more on that. Next up, we had a terrific match between Tommaso Ciampa and Tyler Rust. Now, I'm not too sure of the beginnings of Tyler Rust. I'm not sure if this is one of the guys that was brought over from the Evolve deal when, you know, Leon Ruff and Austin Theory before that. But, like, yeah, some of these new guys that have come in since WWE swallowed Evolve, I'm not sure if he's one of them. I need to check his history, but he put on a fantastic match. I think they even said during the match he's a 15-year veteran. Looks like a relatively young guy in stature, in terms of how he carries himself. He definitely looks after himself. You can see he's a bit older in his face, but him and Ciampa, like everything Ciampa had, this guy had a rebuttal for it. At times, you know, this was a Rust. It was in the ascendancy. On commentary when the match started, it was funny because they said, you know, in the next 2 minutes we're going to find out what this Rust is all about, insinuating almost that this match wasn't going to last long at all. But this was a really good match. I mean, some character stuff around this match as well. Tommaso Ciampa, when he came out, he put out a chair and Timothy Thatcher's t-shirt on the chair so Timothy Thatcher can come and watch the match or something. You know, these guys still have their kind of love-hate, respect feud going on in the background, and Tyler Rust has been pictured as one of Timothy Thatcher's students. This match was really good. I mean, like I said, if you want to get to know Tyler Rust more and what he's about, go and watch this match. He really took it to Tommaso Ciampa, and Tommaso Ciampa in the end put him away with the Willow's Bell, which is being booked incredibly strongly in the past couple of weeks. It's literally just dropping people on their head from the ropes, you know, like a DDT sort of thing, and getting wins. So yeah, definitely one to look out for, Tyler Rust. And at the end of that match, when Ciampa walked up the aisle, you saw Timothy Thatcher kind of wanting to get his hands on him and all of that. Timothy Thatcher did come down during the match, but then he went back up the entranceway. But after the match, he was trying to get his hands on Ciampa, but he was being restrained by referees and stuff like that. And then you saw Malcolm Bivens come to the ring, and he told Tyler Rust, you know, get yourself up, come on, don't, you know, sit here licking your wounds. You're a star. Get up. You're a star. Kept telling him that. And Tyler Rust left with him, you know, gave him a fist pump. And I'm guessing Malcolm Bivens has signed Tyler Rust onto his, like, you know, management agency, whatever he does. So going to be interesting to see how they proceed with that. I've heard Triple H, since this match has come out and lauded the praises of Tyler Rust as well. So big future. It looks like, you know, off the back of this performance, there might be a big future in store for Tyler Rust. So definitely one to look out for. But that was probably one of the matches of the night. I mean, I would say this following match we're going to talk about was the match of the night, and probably the best TV match on NXT this year. Obviously, it's come right at the end of the year and that. But yeah, I think this match was absolutely phenomenal. Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne. I mean, you knew this match was going to be phenomenal before it begun, but how long they got, and the story they told, the sheer brutality. Both parties came out with their factions. So Kyle O'Reilly came up with the Undisputed Era, and then Pete Dunne came out with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Those guys all started scrapping. Killian Dane got involved. Drake Maverick got involved. What's these guys? Breezango, they came back and got involved. So all those tag teams and everyone was escorted out, and the match was just left to Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly. And like I said, an absolutely vicious, brutal beatdown, yet an absolute clinic in technical wrestling. This was so good. This was so good. like I say, best TV match I can think of on NXT this past year. It was absolutely phenomenal. Literally selling upon violence. It was crazy. Pete Dunne was like bleeding from the mouth at one point. And when he pretty much lost his, you know, his gums, his teeth gums, and he got, I can't remember what was the final move. But yeah, you have to go and watch it. I'm not doing it any justice just talking about it. You need to go and see that match. It was absolutely brilliant. And of course, the stakes was, it was a #1 contenders match. He was going to meet Finn Bálor at New Year's Evil. I wanted it to be Pete Dunne so much because I would just love Pete Dunne as champion. I would absolutely love it. However, it was Kyle O'Reilly, you know, the man that has broken Finn Balor's jaw in their first match in 3 places. Kyle O'Reilly is going to get the opportunity, a second bite at it, basically, to become NXT champion. Will he do it this time round? That is the question. They are clearly investing a lot of solo time, a singles run, a singles push into Kyle O'Reilly. It would be very, very interesting to see if he can win this one. What will the dynamics of the guys in Undisputed Era be, especially him and Adam Cole? We know him and Adam Cole have a storied past on the indies as well, as singles competitors coming up against each other. So if Kyle O'Reilly was to beat Finn Bálor here at New Year's Evil, could we see, you know, kind of the reemergence of Undisputed Era to the forefront? Because they have been pretty quiet in recent times, but that will be very, very interesting. I think that's a great match to have at New Year's Evil. Guys, let me know down below in the comments what you think of, you know, Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Bálor 2. That's going to be good. It's going to be good. But yeah, go and watch this match. Phenomenal match on the night. Right. So before we get into, we had a Shotsy Blackheart match against Indy Hartwell. But before we get into that, guys, please hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying today's video. Not even just hit it, smash that like button. It does loads for the channel, and I thoroughly appreciate it every time you guys do. As well, we're on the road to 200 subscribers, so make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel. It'll mean so much to me if we get to 200 subscribers by the end of this year. So yeah, keep supporting, guys. It's thoroughly appreciated. So next up, we had Shotsy Blackheart versus Hartwell. I don't know what the point is in this match, because Shotsy Blackheart is clearly on a trajectory to the top, right? Hartwell is, they're putting her in and around established people in terms of the Gargano family, the way, but this didn't do anything for either of them. You know, this match was hardly a match. It was hardly any time in it before Candice LeRae kind of got involved to just cause, you know, a bog standard distraction so that Hartwell could take the ascendancy within the match. She was past this trophy that they've been carrying around for beating Shotsy Blackheart's team at War Games. She took so long to take the trophy. She took so long to hit Shotsy Blackheart with the trophy. And then by the time she hit Shotsy Blackheart with the trophy, the referee turned around and was like, what the hell are you doing? Ding, ding, ding. Like, call off this match. Like, you're disqualified. And Hartwell was like, oh, you weren't meant to see me do that. Like, whether it was done, I for some reason, I think that she done it wrong. Like, she wasn't actually meant to get caught, but she just took so long to do everything. Like, I don't know. It was really weird, like, the way it played out. And even when Candice LeRae then came into the ring after disqualification, she was telling her, no, stop, don't do it anymore. Like, maybe they were trying to spare the trophy. Who knows? I don't know. But Shotsy Blackheart, who is literally, like I say, on a rocket ship to become women's champion. I think you can see that by a mile away. Whether, you know, when it's going to happen is the question. And Hartwell, who's been given this good position, prominent position with the Gargano family, I just think they could have done something better here. If this match was necessary at all, that is. Yeah, they could have done something better, surely. That was a waste of time, in my opinion. We didn't need to see that. So, yeah, that wasn't good at all. That was like a main roster kind of segment put on NXT. Not good. Of course, other stuff we can talk about on the show happened. We're still getting these Xia Li, Boa vignettes. This time round, Xia Li was absolutely just beating up Boa under instruction. We speculated who it can be that they're taking all these instructions from and what's going to happen when they come back. So, but I just love the way it's shot. I just love the cinematic way that these vignettes are being shot. So I'm enjoying those. Next up on the show, we had the return of Karrion Kross, in ring return that is, versus Desmond Troy. This was pretty much a squash match. Great to see Karrion Kross back with Scarlett and, you know, that phenomenal entrance that they have. But yeah, there was nothing to this match. Just a great way to get Karrion Kross back into the ring, and you know, he's dominated so many performance center guys to the point where it's like, by the time these performance center guys become NXT superstars, we're going to be looking at them like, didn't Karrion Kross beat you up? Like, yeah, he just does this for fun, sort of thing. And after he made Desmond Troy tap out with the cross jacket, he cut a promo to the camera just saying, I think he said, the Prince, you know, 6th of January, which is New Year's Eve, or I'm coming for you, or something along those lines, TikTok. So it's very interesting that I think he's going to have a match on that night with Damian Priest, obviously for what he done to Damian Priest last week, but he has clearly got his eyes right back on the championship. So going to be very interesting on that night how he kind of inserts himself, if he inserts himself into Finn Bálor, Kyle O'Reilly's NXT title match. But yeah, great to see Karrion Kross back in the ring. Last but not least, we had Ria Ripley versus Toni Storm. Good match on paper in terms of the name value. Good match in the ring. I would say, you know, 3 out of 5, or, you know, it was just a solid match. One thing that annoyed me was the commentators. I think it was Vic Joseph particularly, you know, every 5 minutes, NXT has the best women's division in the world. You know what? At this point, we know that. And it's just typical WWE, just absolutely beating a dead horse, as they say. Like, we know. Why are you saying it every 5 minutes? You're going to rinse it. You're going to make it, like, not mean anything every time you say it. We know Impact comes close. The actual women's main roster on WWE is very good as well. But for you to just keep saying it every 5 minutes, you're not gaining anything here. You're not really talking about those that are in the ring and what they're doing in the ring. So I thought that was just a bit of a downer on the entire thing. But yeah, this was a pretty good match. Obviously, Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley know each other from way before NXT UK. Let that be known as well. But yeah, they played off the NXT UK rivalry that they had, where the title changed hands there in Toni Storm's favor. And yeah, this was a pretty good match. The match ended with the interruption or distraction of Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez came to get in Rhea Ripley's way. Rhea Ripley was on the apron. Raquel Gonzalez dragged her onto her shoulder, threw her into the ring post. Toni Storm dragged Rhea Ripley into the ring and gave her finisher, Storm Zero, and pinned Rhea Ripley. So Raquel Gonzalez was standing on the entranceway all nice and smug. She's clearly got unfinished business with Rhea Ripley, which is music to my ears because I love every time those two get in a ring with each other. You guys know that already. And Toni Storm picks up a win here. So very, very interesting. I guess we're still to find out what we're building to in terms of the women for New Year's Evil. Io Shirai is the champion. Raquel Gonzalez pinned Io Shirai in the War Games match, so we can imagine it's probably going to be those two. Ember Moon wasn't on the show today. Dakota Kai is injured, I believe. So yeah, maybe Toni Storm picks up a win today. It's probably going to be Raquel Gonzalez versus Io Shirai. Maybe one other party is going to get involved in that just before the match actually gets announced. But we shall see. But that was our NXT show. That was the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. One more thing going into New Year's Evil. It was announced tonight that Dexter Lumis is going to be the host of the show. And I love when Wade Barrett said on commentary, how can he host a show? He doesn't even talk. Makes sense, nah? It makes sense. Is he going to be making matches? Is he going to be making stipulations? I guess we're going to see. But he drew out, the fact that he was the host. So maybe he is going to be communicating through his artwork on everything that's going to happen at New Year's Evil. Guys, if you enjoyed the review today, please make sure you smash the like button. I thoroughly appreciate it. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 200 subscribers before the end of the year. Let's get there. We're so close. Let's get there. Hit the notification bell as well so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Guys, I will see you in the next one. WrestleManiac UK signing out. I'll see you